been up to. Now, surprisingly enough, to some of you, it may look like I've been doing nothing at all, but I have been doing quite a lot, to be fair. One of the things you have noticed is, if any of you are, um, you know, avid watchers of this, I suppose, you have noticed that the platforms all now have a surface on them, where they didn't before. I've now got the scale model scenery platform edging all the way across all three platforms now. I've also got a blue brick effect wall now on all edges of the platform. So they're all done as well. And the new addition to the layout is the is it Model X kit here. This is the department building kit here. After my troubles with eBay with this company, I will never use them again. But because I was able to get hold of this model, I did buy two, but I only ever received one. So I got my money back on that one. But as I received the one, I've decided I'm going to use it anyway. And this is basically going to be a row of shops here in the middle of the town. There will be more shops coming over here, and obviously the light here is going to be in the way, so I need to find a new home for that. There's going to be a road that goes all the way across here. So if I take you over here a minute, bring you over, there we go. So this is where the road's going to be, is right here. That's going to come all the way over this way over here. And then what I'm also doing is I've got the Metcalfe department building, and that's going to be sitting right there next to this one. Now, because that's got red brick in it and this one was stone, what I've done is I've been very carefully taking out the stone brickwork out of the Metcalfe kit and replacing it with red brick. So just to give you a sort of rough idea, this is what it looks like before. So you can see the stone brickwork there, and this is what it looks like after. So you can see there's a big, massive difference there between the two. So I've been slowly doing that. I need to buy some more of this, which is why I haven't finished it yet. But the road is going to continue across here, right to the end of the layout here. And then down here, there's going to be a brick wall going across here. And if I take you over here a little bit, you will see that I've extended the platform all the way back here. And this wall here, along here, this wall here is going to be, so that's the end of the station building there, look. So this wall here is going to be part of the post office building that I'm building here. So where the canopy comes over, when the canopy comes over the top here, the canopy is going to end right here. So if I take you over here a little bit, the canopy is going to end about here. And then what I'm going to do then is, let me just find something. So just leave you there a minute. Bear with me a second. Oh, so using the Metcalfe kit, there's going to be Metcalfe canopy here. And that's going to be right up against this wall here. And that's going to go all the way across to here. So just plonk that here somewhere, sort of. It's going to sort of sit there like that. It's going to go all the way across that wall there. And then the roof of the canopy roof is going to sit probably about here, where my hand is here. It's slightly above it and slightly over the top of this. So that's what's going to happen there, and this is all going to be all part of a post office area here. So we're going to have a lot of parcel wagons. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on in this area here, with parcels being carried in and out of the building here. So here's going to have a lot of windows and shutters and stuff like that. So yeah, so this is going to be the parcel depot area here, and I'm going to place that there like that. So I'm thinking that's going to look pretty cool, to be honest with you. It's sort of outside of the original design, but it's not taken away how I'm building the canopy. I mean, I haven't made any more improvements with the canopy right now, but that's pretty much where I'm at with that at the moment. So if I take you over here, you'll remember I had some shops above this bridge here, and some shops above there. They're just being taken out for now, out of the way. But I don't know if anybody remembers this or not, but well, this steam locomotive here, this is an A4. This one is called Merlin. This is a Lilliput model, which I bought from Worley a few years ago. And the motorized part here had issues with Mazak rot in the chassis, and it was completely ruined. And up till just recently, I was actually able to find one on eBay in pretty rough state. So basically, what I've done with that one is I've switched the chassis over, put this body back on, put everything all back together again. My original model had some damage to the rear wheel here, so this has been replaced also. But for those of you that know, Lilliput models were manufactured by Trix. And it was a Trix locomotive that I bought. So this motor isn't exactly the same as the one that was originally in this locomotive, but at least it's now working again. And after 3 years, I've finally got it working. So that's now going to go back on the shelf now. But surprisingly, it does run around the layout pretty well. I just have a small issue. And that small issue is over here. So if I take you over here out of the way, right. So over here, I'm still playing with this radius here. This radius has been repositioned here, and trains are now running around this outer edge here a lot better until they get to this point. And every time they run over this point here, I keep getting derailments. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do one of two things. And that is I'm either going to bring the radius round to where it squares off here and put a straight point in, or I ditch this Hornby curved point and replace it with a Pico one. But ever since I put these Hornby curved points in, I've had nothing but issues with them. And this one here, I've had to put a piece of plastic card in the back edge here of one of the check rails, because some of my older locomotives keep derailing as they come across this frog here, and they keep jumping up the middle of the frog. Even though the wheel gaps are bang on, they still keep doing it. So putting a piece of plastic card in there has actually fixed that problem. But again, that's something else that perhaps maybe I might do later on. This one, again, I might end up taking this one out. And then over here, I might end up putting a three-way point in, perhaps, maybe. Not sure yet, but we'll see what happens later on in the future. But yeah, so currently nothing can run on this outer line here at the moment because of the issue that I'm having with this point, which is bloody aggravating. Because trust me, I'd love to get trains running again on this layout. A lot of stuff's been going on the layout. I've even bought this. I got that at a cracking bargain at the Bourneville Model Show in Longbridge a few weeks ago. That cost me £8. And so yeah, was it £8? No, this cost me a fiver. That's right. It only cost me a fiver. It's got £8.50 on the tag, but it cost me a fiver, and I got all three pieces in there. And I'm thinking of using this back scene here as the backdrop to the viaduct, which is going around that back corner there. But I'm only going to do that when I finally fixed that problem over there. And it's doing my nutting, it really is, because to be kind of honest with you, I really, really, really want to get it running. Promised Jeff at Scenic 3D. So if somebody could pop in a link to Jeff at Scenic 3D's website, that would be appreciated. I bought a couple of these off Jeff a few months ago. Well, when I was at the Bourneville exhibition in Longbridge a few weeks back, I bumped into Jeff because he got his shop there, and he's given me that to do a review on and to actually assemble. So that is a video that I've got to do at some point or another, because I promised him I'd do that for him. So that's that. Then I also bought off him these speakers, the Box platform speakers. I bought those off him. I don't know whether you can see them very well or not, but basically you can use those either on a stand or not, and they will be going on the platform as well at some point or another in the very near future. So I bought those off him. And while I was talking to everybody about Scenic 3D in the last live stream, I was talking about these jigs that you can buy. This one is for a double slip or single slip. These are great. I've already used this already to fit the points. That's another thing as well, is I've now got motorized points in here now. They're all done and fitted. I've just got to wire them up. And I've done that using this and using this jig here. And I use this jig here as well for the left and right hand points too. These are invaluable. They really are. These work an absolute treat. Jeff's idea of building jigs for your points is fantastic. It really is. These, you can use these. I used these because my track was already in. So drilling the holes top and bottom straight through the board gave me a pilot hole to then be able to screw my my point switches up inside. The hole in the center there was already drilled into the baseboard already. But what you can do, see, is when you've drilled these two holes here, you take out the point, place it back on over the top, drill out the center hole here, and then that gives you everything in perfect alignment for when you put your seat motor in the other end. Now, Jeff does do other jigs as well. They're all color coded. He does tortoise point motors. He does the Pico twist lock version 2. He also does the other Pico, the older Pico motors. He does baseboards for them, so you can put them into a baseboard and then screw them up into your layout. He does those as well. Now, when I was there, I did speak to him about this. Now, this is a cracking little bit of kit. Now, I've got a motor here somewhere. So this is one of my seat motors. And then what you do with this little jig here is that clips into place like this. And then the pin goes into a hole at the back there, look. That clips in like that. Now, that won't move. Now, that's held in place. Then what you can do then is holding it in place, you just point this straight up through your point and put the two holes in. And what this has done is keeping your point centered while you put two screws in. Because more often than not, and I've done this, I've put this in and realized it's too far over one side or the other. Whereas with this way, you can make sure, and by using this jig as well, so the jig goes on top of your track, that goes through there like that, and then with the grooves either side. You can make sure it stays centered like that. And then on the back of here, you got cutouts on the back so that it allows you to put the screw in and fix this in place. And then all you do then is pull this off. Now, I had an issue with this. And the issue with this is although it doesn't stop you from using it, the plastic caps here break. There should be two more down here, and they break off because this edge here is quite weak. Now, I spoke to Jeff about that, and he says, yeah, I understand that. He says, I've had a few people tell me about that, and I've changed it. So we now have version number 2. I'm going to take this out of the packet. I haven't took it out of the packet yet, but Jeff's already explained this to me. So on here, if you've already got one of these and you don't know which one you've got, the first one doesn't have any markings on the back, okay? But version number 2 has it printed here somewhere. I can't remember where it's got it printed now. But version number 2 will have it printed up in the corner. You can't see it in the camera. It's printed up in the corner. And what he's done here is these pins here are now thicker. So they're less likely to break. So yeah, so if you do use these and these do break off, just see if it is version 1 or version 2. Version 1 won't have anything written on it. Version 2 does. So yeah, so these are absolutely fantastic. And all you do is just hold it somewhere near the center, you push it in, done, centered. Honestly, absolutely brilliant bits of kit these are, and I do highly recommend them. And I'm not going to lie to you, I bought these. Jeff has actually given me this one to replace the one that was broken. But all the jigs and everything that I've got here, I bought. And to be kind of honest with you, if I was having any problems with them, I'd say so, like I did with this one jig here. But other than that, I've had no issues with them, and they've been great because I've been able to drill out my pilot holes, and then using this jig, then holding that in the center, I've literally just pushed it through, lined up the holes that I've already pre-drilled in the baseboard, put the screws in, job done, and then just pull that off as soon as it's fitted. But you struggle so often underneath your layout to try to fit these things. It can be a nightmare. But with these jigs, it saves an awful lot of time. And I think these are only like about £3.50. I think these are something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. I should have checked on prices beforehand, and I never did. So go Scenic 3D, see Jeff, and if you want any of these jigs, they're all on his website. It explains to you exactly which bit is needed for whichever point you've got. And at some point in the very near future, I will be doing a review on that as well, which is the vending machine kit that you get with that. Okay, so I will be doing that for Jeff because Jeff did ask me to do that for him, and I did get that for free because of it. So I'll be doing a review on that as well.